flattered to be asked to be on this tour. You know, I've always admired her music for a long time. All the venues are amazing, really incredible spaces. In a symphony hall, there's nothing that can impede the music reaching the ears, so it's very focused. The downside is that it can be a bit formal.
Okay. So there's no kind of
interaction. It can be a bit too polite.
Yeah.
I kind of like a bit of banter.
Yeah. So how do you find now playing on your own? Obviously it's quite different to having this band around you.
Yeah. I love it. I'm having the time of my life. Yeah, totally. It's a different experience from playing with the band. And I found when a year ago, I started doing a lot of support tours like I'm doing now, and I went from playing like small venues in London to touring with Rodrigo and Gabriella throughout Europe, and I was doing arenas, so I went from very small to really big.
Yeah. And
initially I found it really difficult, and because just technically and sonically, like, it was a lot. I learned very quickly, but the first gigs were really difficult, and then I missed having the support of bandmates on stage, and like, if things aren't going well for you, maybe you're having an off day, then you've got three other people who, whereas for me it's like, it's super intense because there's nothing to hide how you are exactly, and my songs are very personal, so sometimes it's like, if you're not in the mood, you still got to do it, but like that's part of the job, isn't it?
And do you still pick up the hang, or is it just guitar now?
Well, the boys are still touring quite a lot, and the instruments, at the time I left, the instrument was very integral to the band, and it still kind of is, but less so. So it was kind of not that much of a big decision for me to leave the hang with them. When I left the band, I was kind of bored of it.
Right.
So I just said, look, borrow it for 5 years, 10 years if you need it. I have to keep moving, I think, because if you don't keep moving, then the inspiration dries up, and if the inspiration dries up, then you've got nothing. So I didn't really ever see it as a choice, really. I just had to keep doing what I needed to keep doing.
Sure.
So that kind of made it an easy decision in the end, because it wasn't really a decision. Still, it was like, obviously, no small thing to make a change like that, but the guys in the band understood the most why I had to make the change, so that made it easier. I think I am always looking for more challenges, but like, I'm not going to get bored of this, of playing my own songs and playing the guitar anytime soon, I don't think. But don't hold me to that. It's absolutely what I want to be doing. I have to be doing it. Like, nothing else gives me that. Yeah, so I'm grateful for it all. Definitely. I always found that I liked some musical principles, like repetition, and I like them wherever I found them. So I would respond to, say, minimalist music like Steve Reich from America and the sort of modern classical thing, and I'd respond to Ugandan xylophones, or music from Madagascar, or music from West Africa, or techno, and I like the principles, so I like it wherever I hear it, and therefore I can accommodate stylistically very easily. I'm not too I just, without sounding like I like everything, like in a bland way, I find everything interesting musically. I mean, as long as it's not rubbish. My music has, really disparate influences, and I see again and again and again, and also this is the same with Portico Quartet, that audiences are super comfortable to, it's no problem for them to have all those influences side by side. We have been brought up mostly on Spotify, and certainly kids younger than us only on Spotify, and so the question of genre, I think, is totally outdated. I always felt like a bit of a, happily I felt like a bit of a blagger in the jazz world.
Right, okay.
I don't know, other boys in the band knew a lot more about jazz than I did.
Okay.
And then I've always, always went to raves over folk gigs. So then, You're Not Alone by Olive, I always loved it, and I never. It's great. Everyone loved it. I didn't even consider why. But then years later, I was just picking out on the guitar, and I realised that, surprise, surprise, it's a fabulous song. When you strip it back down to the guitar, you get rid of the production and the beats, and beautiful sentiment. And I just thought and it totally gave me a buzz to think to take something that people know in an electronic sphere, taking it to an acoustic sphere. It's normally the other way around.
Yeah, right.
And I thought that if I got that buzz off of hearing that song in that way, and it kind of shed a new light on it, then others would too. And also, saying something like, I'll wait to the end of time for you, isn't something I would necessarily write. I felt it was almost a bit corny. But actually it's a beautiful thing to say. So I quite liked having, through the guys who were singing that song, I could access a lyric and a sentiment, a pure sentiment that I wouldn't necessarily write myself.
Yeah. Have you done a few festivals this year? Did you play Glastonbury though?
Yeah, I did it almost every weekend of summer. Glastonbury was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glastonbury was a blast. I played the Park stage.
Such a good
Yeah, it was a really nice vibe. That felt really cool actually.
Yeah.
It's been satisfying this summer to get back to some of the stages that I was playing at the point where I left Portico. I'm halfway through recording my album right now, so when I get back from this tour, I'm going straight back in the studio, and that will be set for release in before the summer next year, Easter summer next year.